Why haven't we noticed this before? It goes through the solar system and goes by Earth. This is just because of how these black holes are made. These black holes eat stars but don't destroy worlds like the giants that live at the center of galaxies. In fact, primordial black holes might be like the basic building blocks of the world. Black holes are always moving through the solar system and maybe even right through us, and we don't even notice them. Scientists say that tiny black holes have been traveling through space since the beginning of time and can be found very close to Earth, between planets, between stars, and in galaxies. But these black holes are so small that we haven't seen them yet. Black holes in the beginning are so small that we could never see them with our own eyes. Even the best microscopes can't really see them. Scientists can only study what they think they do, like how heavy a rock is. Now, what happens when a very small black hole goes by Earth? Theoretically, these black holes are so small and close together that they don't affect most of the matter around them directly. Even though these black holes are very small, they have a very high mass, which means their gravity is pretty strong for how small they are. If one of these tiny holes can hold as much matter as a rock, and these chunks quickly add up to several hundred kilograms or even tons, scientists agree that primordial black holes can pass through the Earth without doing much damage, even though they are very heavy. The idea is that because they are so small, they probably won't mix with regular matter. But there would be effects if a black hole went through the Earth. There would be a very small change in gravity near the black hole. Even though it would be heavy, this would be so small that it would be hard to measure. It is very unlikely that the black hole would interact directly with atomic nuclei or other matter particles because it is so small. This means that it would pass through the Earth without absorbing any matter. Theories say that there are a lot of black holes and that they may play a part that hasn't been thought of much before. Primordial black holes are thought to have formed soon after the Big Bang, when the universe was very chaotic and dense. At that time, there were huge changes in density. Some experts think that these very early black holes might be made of dark matter. If this theory is right, they would be a very important part of the universe. Dark matter is thought to make up about 87% of the world we know about right now. Most likely, the black holes would leave behind very small changes in the Earth's density distribution or very small moves in the continents. This makes me wonder if these effects aren't really changes but rather an important part of how matter works. This day, we still don't fully understand how dark matter works, and we're not even sure that it exists. Scientists use dark matter to describe things about the universe that can't be explained by known types of matter or methods. People think that many black holes are moving through the universe. If this is true, they would give us a big hint about whether dark matter is real or not. Scientists hope to soon be able to use very accurate measuring tools to show that there are primordial black holes in our solar system and close to Earth. If they are successful, it will be the first direct proof that dark matter exists. Because of this, we would be a lot further along in our astronomy. All of our ideas about the universe are being tested right now. Since the 1970s, our view of the universe has been based on a false assumption if it doesn't exist. Scientists can be sure that some of their old theories and ideas were right if the small black holes prove that dark matter is real. So what harm do black holes really cause to Earth? We have to face a bad truth. Science keeps showing us that it doesn't know everything, and it can also lie to us. Just the fact that small black holes are hard to prove means that any claims about how they really affect Earth are based on guesswork. Some experts think that primordial black holes don't happen very often. In order to explain this, it is said that space is very big, and that small black holes are very rare. Some scientists, on the other hand, think that these tiny creatures might exist a lot more often and are even an important part of the world. Some studies don't say that there aren't any possible risks. People who are against the Large Hadron Collider in Geneva keep saying that it is making black holes. It's possible that black holes form by accident during experiments at the world's biggest particle accelerator. Otherwise, this could be done on purpose. So, by looking at how things behave and the forces that happen, scientists hope to learn more about the nature of the tiny parts of matter. Researchers can't really see these particles, they can only see what they do. That could be the risk. Matter could be shaken up during the test, letting out forces that we don't understand or can't measure but could affect matter that we can see, like many black holes. Some say that people in Geneva are acting like God, and others say that the tests have already made dimensional gates or black holes that are changing Earth's fate without that being known to us. In the same way, the tiny black holes may have a place in the structure of matter and the universe that we haven't thought of yet. Primordial black holes, however, their gravity is strong enough to slightly change the paths of planets and other objects. These black holes are unseen because they don't give off any radiation. Their gravitational pull is the only way to find them. One way to find them might be to look for small changes in Mars' path. Scientists have been able to track changes as small as a few centimeters over many years thanks to fancy tools like Mars rovers and orbital measuring devices. By studying these kinds of objects, we might learn more about how the world started and how gravity and matter work. If these black holes have been around for 13 billion years or more, they have seen an important path. If it turns out that these primordial black holes have a plan or a specific job to do, that would be another key to understanding how the universe was put together. As of now, there are still doubts about whether the idea of small black holes can really work. The effects, like the waves or changes in Mars' path, are very small, so the measurements have to be very accurate. The effects could also be caused by something else. What an exciting part of the search for wormholes that is connected to the idea of primordial black holes. Wormholes are made-up connections between two different places in space or even in time, according to theoretical physics. With these funnel-shaped devices, it might be possible to travel over very long distances in space in a matter of seconds. We've all seen the idea in science fiction movies, but not many people know that wormholes are actually real, according to well-known science. Some experts now think that the very small primordial black holes might be wormholes' early stages. The thought is strange and interesting at the same time. It comes from the idea that space-time around black holes is very warped, which might make it possible for a stable wormhole to form. These structures, if they exist, could not only completely change how we think about the universe, but they could also help us understand how matter and energy move between faraway parts of the universe. It's a whole different idea if we think that these kinds of wormholes are not only in faraway worlds but also right here in our solar system. Imagine that the primordial black holes that pass through Earth all the time are really tiny wormholes. Then people would be able to talk to people in other parts of the universe or even in different worlds and times right here on Earth. Scientists are constantly looking for signs of such strange phenomena, even though this idea is still officially seen as nothing more than a guess. One ray of hope comes from gravity waves, which might show if the structures of intermediate black holes really do show signs of a wormhole. Dimensional and time gates could be found by looking for small changes in the signatures of waves that are sent out by events like black hole mergers. Wormholes were even thought to be possible by Albert Einstein. In the 1930s, his work and Nathan Rosen's work together came up with the idea for the Einstein-Rosen bridge. This is a tunnel that can be proven mathematically to connect two very far away places in the universe. A real proof of wormholes would be more than just a huge step forward in science. As for real-world uses, you can think of ways that this could help us learn more about the universe. Wormholes might let us connect with people in other worlds, and some people hope that study into them will help us make progress in our ability to travel through space. Wormholes or folds in space-time could be used by spaceships to go beyond the limits of time and space and take people far beyond the solar system in ways that no one could have dreamed.